Hello, Zoics. Get ready. Today we're talking about a tiny dog, a freezing river, and a rescue that turned into something so much more. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for the ending. All right, let's set the scene. It's March 30th in New York City. It's cold, the kind of cold that bites at your skin. And the East River, this isn't some gentle stream. It's a powerful industrial waterway with strong currents, boat traffic. It's not a place you want to be. And somewhere in that freezing, dark water is a tiny, one-year-old Maltese. We now know her name is Hudson, but back then she was just a terrified little creature, paddling for her life. She had no ID tag, no microchip, nothing. Just a little white fluff ball against the massive, unforgiving city. How did she get there? Did she fall? Was she thrown? We'll probably never know. And that mystery, that's part of what makes this so chilling. Now let's introduce our other main character, Officer Jared DeSalvo. He's part of the NYPD's Elite Harbor Unit. These are the guys who patrol the 520 miles of waterfront around New York City. They deal with everything. It's a tough, demanding job. For Officer DeSalvo, it was just another Sunday morning shift. He probably got his coffee, said goodbye to his family, his two kids, Salvatore and Stella, and headed out for another day on the water. He had no idea his life and the life of a tiny dog was about to change forever. Around 8:10 in the morning, the call comes in. A 911 dispatcher relays the message, "A dog is in the water near the South Street Seaport." Now, you have to understand this is a race against time. Hypothermia can set in within minutes for a small animal in water that cold. Every second counts. Officer DeSalvo and his team fire up their boat and speed towards the location. Imagine what they're thinking. Is the dog still alive? Can they even find it in the vastness of the river? And then they see her. A tiny, white head, barely above the surface, fighting, still fighting. This next part gave me chills when I read about it. The officers carefully maneuver their large boat right up next to this tiny, shivering animal. They reach down and pull her out. They immediately wrap her in a warm blanket. She's safe. The immediate danger is over. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief. A job well done. End of story, right? You're probably thinking, they saved the dog, it goes to a shelter, and that's that. But you'd be wrong. This is where the story really begins. Hudson is taken to the Animal Care Centers of NYC, or ACC. They check her over, and the news isn't great. She has a pretty bad respiratory infection, likely from inhaling the dirty river water. So now, it's not just about being cold and scared, it's about fighting for her life all over again. But Hudson is a fighter. With antibiotics and care from the amazing staff and volunteers at the ACC, she starts to recover. A spokesperson for the center, Katie Hansen, said the staff just fell in love with her, calling her so flippin' cute, and noting that she clearly enjoyed being around people. You can read more about her initial rescue in this People magazine article. But here's the thing. There's a protocol, a legal hold. The ACC has to put her in foster care and wait. Wait for someone to come forward and claim her. Days turn into weeks, and all this time, Officer DeSalvo can't stop thinking about her. He's a hero. He saved her life. But his connection didn't end when he handed her over to the shelter. His kids, who heard all about the dramatic rescue, were asking about her constantly. "Dad, what happened to the dog? Is she okay? Where is she now?" What would you have done in his shoes? You do your job, save a life. Do you just move on to the next call? Or does a piece of that rescue stay with you? The waiting period is agonizing. Every day that passes, Hudson's future is uncertain. If an owner comes forward, she goes back. If not, she becomes another dog in a system that's already overflowing. And then, the deadline passes. Weeks go by, and no one comes forward. No one claimed this sweet, brave little dog who survived the East River. But here's what nobody saw coming. For Hudson, this could have been a tragedy, but for Officer DeSalvo, it was a sign.
They allowed a certain amount of time for her owner to come claim her. Unfortunately, nobody came forward, but presents a unique opportunity for me and my family. We'll be adopting Hudson, and she'll be in good care.
That's what he said. a unique opportunity. He didn't see an unclaimed dog. He saw a member of his family he hadn't met yet. So he did it. He went back to the ACC, but this time he wasn't just checking in. He was filling out paperwork, the adoption paperwork. I couldn't believe it when I heard this next part. He decided to make the adoption a complete surprise for his kids, his son Salvatore, who's 9, and his daughter Stella, who's 8. They had been asking about Hudson nonstop since the day of the rescue. He told them they were going to a communion party, a total fake-out. Imagine being those kids. You're getting dressed for some boring party, and then your dad walks in, and in his arms is the dog, the miracle dog from the river, the dog you've been worrying about for weeks. The surprise was a success. The kids were absolutely ecstatic. Hugs, smiles, pure, unfiltered joy. In that moment, Hudson wasn't a rescue anymore. She was home. So Hudson the river dog is now Hudson DeSalvo. She has a warm bed, a backyard, and 2 kids who adore her. She has a family. The family even took new family portraits with their newest furry member right there with them. From the cold, dark water to a picture-perfect family photo. It's just incredible. Officer DeSalvo told the NY Daily News something that really stuck with me. I think it's a great opportunity to give her a second chance. She'll be a great part of our family. She'll be very well taken care of. A second chance. That's what this is all about. This story matters to us all because it's a powerful reminder of a few simple truths. First, that compassion doesn't have to end when the job is done. Officer DeSalvo could have just seen Hudson as another rescue statistic, but he saw an individual who needed help, and his compassion didn't stop at the river's edge. Second, it shows the incredible resilience of animals. Hudson survived something that should have been impossible. She fought to live, and that spirit is what makes rescue animals so special. And finally, it's about fate. Call it what you want, coincidence, luck, destiny, but it feels like Officer DeSalvo and Hudson were meant to find each other on that cold March morning. The worst day of her life put her on a direct path to her forever family. It's a perfect circle. The man who pulled her from the water is the same man who will now make sure she never has to be scared or alone again. It's just an amazing, feel-good story, and we need more of those, don't we? But now I want to hear from you. This story is about a rescue that became a family. Have you ever rescued an animal? Or has an animal rescued you? What's your story? Share it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this story touched you, consider supporting your local animal shelter or rescue organization. There are thousands of Hudsons out there just waiting for their own Officer DeSalvo to walk through the door. Thanks for watching. If you like this story, hit that subscribe button because we have so many more incredible true stories to share with you. See you in the next one.